Hi VC, this is Bev here. I had been meaning to do this video a lot sooner than today, but as with everything else in life, just life gets in the way and other things happen and it gets put to the side. But this is basically the latest update, which kind of finishes off from my last update video where I said I was waiting on one more delivery coming in from what I had ordered for this month, plus the other Amazon CD, because in the last update where I ordered Gotthard self-titled from Amazon and complete with knackered jewel case, the other disc was coming in the following day. So what this is an update showing that CD, the other CD, the other package that came in from, it was High Roller Records. I ordered these from, High Roller Records, and there was one that I got from through Discogs actually, which yes, I forgot about that one as well. So there was actually two I was waiting on, and I have managed to pick up a couple of charity shop bargains that I've found and an eBay bargain. So that's basically what this update is. So first of all, the other CD that I had ordered from Amazon is Runnin' Wild Black Handin'. This is the deluxe expanded edition issue. And it's Darcy's fault that I went and ordered those CDs, because he was talking about it and I was reading some of the comments when he showed his latest Runnin' Wild editions. People were saying how brilliant Black Handin' was, and this was the one I didn't have. This was the last one I had to order from the 2017 reissues, so here it is. And I have to agree with everybody else, it's a fantastic album. It's full of great songs, it's very energetic, really enjoy this one. So yeah, and the track listing is on the back. You get two bonus songs on here. I don't know how well that focuses on here, to be honest with you. I don't think the focus up close is what you would call super perfect, which is odd for a Mac, because it is a Mac I'm filming this one. Anyway, that's irrelevant. So there's the inside. It's one of these dual digipack things, quite simple. The booklet, which is inside the sleeve. Oh, and I kept the height thing off the shrink. Booklet. So this completes all, as I say, my Runnin' Wild reissues from this series. I do have one or two others albums out with these ones, of course. I do plan on getting all of Runnin' Wild's catalogue, and my favourites I want to get on vinyl as well. Obviously I've got Death or Glory reissue on the vinyl, but I want an original of Death or Glory, and I'm seeking an original of Port Royal. So these are the first two Runnin' Wilds I do want to get. I'm noticing they're quite dear, and I'd love to get the 12-inch single of Bad to the Bone, and a couple of their other 12-inch singles from back in the day, but I've been digging around, and again these are quite dear, so it'll just be a case of as and when and if the right price happens to come along. But I do plan on getting the entire Runnin' Wild catalogue in some format. And yes, it's a great album, so I highly recommend more Runnin' Wild. So that was the disc, and now on to the... This was the one that I got through Discogs, and it's Virgin Steel, Age of Consent. This album is a reissue as well. It was 2011, I believe this was reissued on SPV Steamhammer. Hype sticker says double gatefold LP in coloured vinyl, including bonus tracks, rare photos, and liner notes by David Defies. I don't know how you pronounce his name. I don't know a lot about this band, but I heard a couple of tracks and liked what I heard, so it's another one I decided to go for. So you've got lyrics. No, this is not lyrics. This is this David Defies talking in September 2011 about each track, kind of what each song is about, I think. And this is your credits on this side. So you get an inner sleeve with lyrics on it there. And I guess these are the pictures that are mentioned on this side. And it is 180 gram, and it's kind of clear blue sort of marbleized. I don't know how well that comes out. But yeah, the only thing I have noticed is, if you look closely, and I doubt you'd be able to see it actually on the screen, but there's one or two kind of black specks within the vinyl, and I've noticed that a couple of them feel raised, and I wondered how well that would play. And to be honest with you, there is a few clicks and noises that comes off of this record, which was a bit disappointing, obviously. But it's nothing too major. It's nothing that gets to the stage where it's annoying me to the point where I have to send it back. But I just thought that was a bit poor. I don't know if it's a flaw in the manufacture of the vinyl or whatever, but so the other album, the other record is the same. I believe the bonus tracks are, if you just give me a second here, I think they were actually I can't remember what they were, to be honest, but re-recordings or kind of bonus covers or demos and things. I mean, there is on side 4 you've got a cover of Screaming for Vengeance. So obviously that's Judas Priest, but yeah, I think they're not obviously album tracks, well, you know, bonus tracks on album tracks. So I'll stop waffling, basically, but this is a pretty decent album. I need to give it a few more listens to see how well it grows on me, to be honest, but I was quite happy to get a hold of this. So the other one that came from High Roller Records, after purchasing one of their other albums, I had to go and get this one because they had this one as well, and it's Blazing Stone, and this is War of the Roses. I think this was their latest album, except I think they've got a new one coming out, or came out just last year or early this year. But this one's 2017, War of the Roses. I said in my other video when I showed them, Blazing Stone are kind of a Running Wild clone, very styled on Running Wild, fast power metal, speed metal kind of thing, but they're really, really good, really enjoyable. This is limited, 550, number 234, and this is on Underground Power Records. And also on this side you've got Storm Spell, but fantastic, it's really good. Comes with the nice card inner with lyrics, and it's just on black vinyl, plain black vinyl, very straightforward looking, but excellent. But this is good. If you like Running Wild, they're definitely worth checking out, certainly, and I enjoy it, so I was happy to get that one. And while I was on High Roller's website, I was having a look because if you order just one album, then the shipping to the UK is, they use DHL Premium only. That's the only option you get, which is £15 a time. So to make it a little bit more worthwhile, it's better if you're going to order more than one record. So I saw this one, which was actually quite cheap, so I jumped on it. And this is the band QUARTZ, who were originally established in the early 80s. I have a 1983 album of theirs, which is really good, and I thought, well, this is their latest album. They got back together, I think, and this one came out, is it 2016? Yeah, 2016 on High Roller Records, this is Fear No Evil. That is quite a cool, interesting cover, creepy sort of cover. And on the back, got a bunch of skulls. So this is pretty good. This is kind of solid traditional heavy metal, this as well. And High Roller Records do their stuff nicely. Again, you get the list of what's on High Roller Records. You get a nice card lyric sheet with band pictures. What I did learn about QUARTZ is, I believe, now I could be wrong, but I think it was Jeff Nichols, one of the originals, vocal guitarists. I think he died fairly recently, maybe 2017 or something, which is unfortunate. So he is featured on this album, but obviously he won't be featured on anything else should they re-release any more stuff, or release any more stuff. And again, this one is 180 gram vinyl as well, but this was going for about €8.99, I think was the price at the time on High Roller's website. Just plain straightforward. So yeah, definitely check this out if you're into sort of traditional heavy metal. I thought a couple of the songs are kind of, I don't know if it's in like drop D tuning or something, but they're quite, the key I think is kind of low, lower sounding than what I'm kind of used to with the regular heavy metal stuff. But there's some good songs on here as well, so just glad to get hold of this. And so that was the delivery from High Roller. So then I was in a different charity shop the other week, and I was thrilled to come across this actually. This is a Scottish band, Runrig, and this is their 1985. Yeah, this was the 1985 album. This is an original press on Ridge Records, which is a Scottish label. I used to have this on CD, but I gave it away to somebody who went to Germany. So that's, and I just, I always wanted to try and get a hold of this album. When I saw they had this record in the charity shop, and it's in really nice condition, very, very good. There's just a couple of kind of scuffs, minimal, if any, ring there. I had to grab it. So they're Celtic rock, very traditional. It comes with a nice inner sleeve. We've got credits down here. And there is the lyrics. Now, some of these lyrics are in Gaelic. A lot of the songs are Gaelic titled, but there is English on here as well. But yeah, this is a fantastic album. It's very melodic. The guitars are really cool. It's one of these chill out type albums as well. There's a few relaxing songs, but there's some upbeat kind of rocker type songs on it as well. Dance Called America. What else is the other one? I think Sky and the Ferry. But yeah, fantastic stuff if you're into a bit of Celtic stuff. The record itself just came in its original. And the record's actually quite a thick one for an 80s, but there we have it. Runrig Heartland Ridge Records. Custom label. So absolutely chuffed to bits to find this on vinyl. And the other one I picked up was, it was a blind buy, but the name, it was the name of the band that caught my eye because somebody had mentioned this band to me, and I think it was either Robert Z or Carsten over in Denmark. Carsten, you know who you are, Carsten. Is it the Vinyl Corner? I think your channel is. And I was, you know, one of the Danish bands that either one of these guys mentioned was Skagerrak. And I thought, I couldn't recall if I'd heard the name or not before, but I didn't know anything about them. But while I was digging in the charity shop, this caught my eye, and I thought, oh, Skagerrak. And I had a look at it, and I thought, okay. Can't really make out the band picture too well because it's kind of a fuzzy image. I don't think it's meant to be focused. But there's the band there, and I thought, oh, they look kind of hard rocky, kind of AOR style. Interesting picture of a flat world, I suppose, there. This is a US pressing as well. It has that annoying little cut-out piece of nonsense. Really, America, it's not necessary. Find some other way to mark your records. But anyway, that it's funny because I know Rob at Black Star Vinyl, watching his video last night, he said that doesn't bother him, but it bothers me. It's just irritating as well. You can't even read the first word of that track properly. So yeah, Skagerrak, self-titled, I'm guessing this is their debut, 1987, on MCA, and as I say, American, just came in a plain sleeve, came in a, I don't know if, there probably was some kind of picture in there at some point, I don't know. And again, the vinyl is in lovely condition. So that was that one. And the last one that I found was on eBay, and I saw this and it was the price. I thought it was a really good price for this because every time I've saw this album before, it's been kind of up there in the mid-teens to £20 mark, and I wasn't sure that I wanted to pay that for it, but this one was well under £10, and so I jumped on it. I thought I'll give this a go, and this is BB Steel, On the Edge. I don't know if this is the only album they ever produced, but I know it's the first album, and this 1990, 1991, Phonogram Australia, they are an Australian band, debut album, and basically the main reason I was curious about this is there's a Def Leppard connection. Phil Collen produces one side of this album, interestingly enough, and he also has he also brought Pete Woodruff, who's worked with Def Leppard on their albums. He did the mixing, I believe, or the engineering part. So it came with the inner with thank yous, and the thank you notes are kind of interesting. Phil Collen, Jackie and Rory Bear Collen, it says. I'm not sure about the Bear part, but Jackie Collen was Phil's wife at the time. Rory was Phil's son, who had just been born around that time. He was about so many months old, or a year old, or whatever, at that stage. A whole load of folk. Who else have we got on here? Phil Collen, additional players. Phil comes under that as guitars, so there must be some guitars in here. And yeah, they sound rather Phil Collen, Def Leppard-ish. The backing vocals, particularly on the Phil Collen produced ones, are very Def Leppard harmony vocal-esque, very much like the layered vocals of Hysteria, and more so Adrenalize, even, you know, very much influenced by the Mutt Lange production. So you've got, Phil's mentioned in additional players, he's mentioned in the thanks, and he's in the very special thanks, Phil Collen, Pete Woodruff, Connie Collen, that's Phil's mum, Grover Jackson, who is the guy at Jackson that ended up making all Phil Collins' signature guitars, blah blah blah. And you get this box, Life According to B.B. Steele, so it kind of tells you a bit about what they were doing in the making of this album. The band formed in February 88, it says, so they ended up supporting Sammy Hagar on a tour in April 88. Later on, when it come to making this album, they called Phil Collen for some reason to find out he had a 2-week break for Def Leppard, so this would be, I don't know, 89, 90 I'm guessing, the time, when obviously after the Hysteria tour, I'm not 100% on this, when this album was maybe getting dealt with, but yeah, it's an interesting album and I was curious. I wouldn't say the songs were overly amazing. My favourite song on this entire album is the last track on side 2, which is Troubled Child, which is a non-Phil Collen produced one, funnily enough. Yeah, all the tracks on side 1 are produced by Phil Collen, mixed and engineered by Pete Woodruff, and on side 2, produced by Craig Songrady, who is the singer in the band, and they were mixed and engineered by Rob Jacobs. There is a difference in the sound of the songs, and I personally prefer side 2 for some reason, funnily enough. But as I say, very last track on the album is the one I like the best. So it was really the Def Leppard connection. I was curious about this. And yeah, there is very much the Def Leppard guitars influence and the production influence and the harmony vocal things that obviously came out of Hysteria and Adrenalize. So if you're a Def Leppard fan or enthusiast, this should be of interest to you. And that is basically it for this. I've got one other item I'm going to show in a separate video. I just want to keep a separate video specifically for this item because I could babble on for a few minutes about it. So, and 22 minutes here is enough. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you all in another video. Bye just now.